Hi, my tubies, my Teletubbies, and welcome back to the part two of advice for all black men. We're going to continue listening to Ringo, who has been so informative, and it's just amazing. I'm just in shock. Really, I am so in shock that we have other men out here speaking out about this. He's not the only man who's speaking out about this. There's this other guy. He is like, oh, please, oh my God. He's really, really working like a dog to try to help educate black men. Anyway, without further ado, let's get back to Ringo.
And they want the woman to be the one to blame. Matter of fact, the woman is to blame for everything according to the black man.
Hello.
You know, this is interesting to me because when I make videos, right, I'm pretty much fair and balanced. I talk about the issues concerning black women. I talk about the issues concerning black men. But for most of these men on YouTube, everything they talk about is negative with women. Black men never do anything wrong. This is a problem. Anytime you hear any individual speak only about women, never about men, that's a bitter man. That's a man that been hurt pretty bad. That's a man that have a lot of deep hatred in his heart. And you should not be listening to anyone that talk to you about women all day long. Anytime you hear a man constantly talking about negativity with women over and 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 over, never, ever, ever talking about men issues, that is when you need to beware. That is what you call the modern day false prophet, the modern day wolves in sheep's clothing. And there are a lot of black men like that within the so-called manosphere who are leading all of you brothers to the lake of fire and brimstone. Because see, black men are supposed to be the leaders of the black family.
Hello.
We're supposed to be the ones that set the order. We're the ones who's supposed to guide our women. Even the Bible says to dwell with women according to knowledge. So if a black man...
This is exactly a point that I was making when it comes to you have a lot of black men who have this hatred towards black women because they have issues with their mother. They're upset with their mom because she wasn't perfect, because she didn't do the best of job. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4, it says all day long, you fathers go on raising and bringing up these children. So if the mother did a poor job or she didn't do as good as she should have done, she was doing a job that she's not designed to do anyway. A mother, not black mother, all women, Caucasian, Chinese, Jewish, Italian, all women are supposed to carry out the orders from the father. The father says, I want the children in bed by 8 o'clock. I want them bathed. I want them in their pajamas. I want them fed. The mother, her job is to carry out the father's orders, according to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4. So don't sit up here and have this hatred for your mom or for women because they didn't do a man's job. That's cray cray. Really? Here we go.
is to get with the black woman. He's supposed to be, first of all, focused on leading her with truth. That way, that woman can have the mind of that man. She can have the ability to carry out and do that which is necessary to fulfill his purpose as a helper to that man. But see, today's black man don't even follow the Most High. Today's black man follows Satan. Even brothers that claim to follow the Most High follow Satan. This is a very evil world. And if you don't have the spiritual eyes to see and the ears to hear, you won't understand the magnitude of this problem. Black men are fully responsible for the destructions of the black family. Let's go back to the Garden of Eden. The Most High gave Adam a command, gave him a job to keep out all intruders from the garden told him, do not touch this particular tree. Don't eat of its fruit, lest ye die. So it was very evident to Adam not to do X, Y, and Z. Not only that, his wife knew, because Adam's job was to teach his wife and show her what needs to be done. Just like today's black man. He's supposed to guide his woman. But that's not happening. So Eve is strolling around through the garden, and an alien spirit begins to whisper in her ear. But because Adam is not on his job, because Adam is not being a man, because Adam is a simp, because Adam is sitting around on YouTube listening to these dudes talk about nonsense, his woman is listening to a bunch of garbage, and this alien spirit tells his wife, you don't have to listen to your husband. You don't have to listen to no God. You can eat of that tree. You'll be wise. You'll know good and evil. You'll be as gods. And what did the woman do? The woman took of the fruit. But notice something very interesting. Sin did not break through into the world until Adam ate that fruit. When Adam ate of the fruit, that is when all hell broke loose. Which once again...
That's also a very wise thing to focus on. The Bible says death and sin entered into the world through one man. It had nothing to do with what Eve did. You see, because Eve, she was deceived. Adam wasn't deceived. He was never deceived. He made a choice and a decision, no doubt based on his penis. He done saw this perfect looking hot woman, and he decided to go against God. What the woman did is not the reason why we have to, grow old and die. It's because of what Adam did. And that's in the Bible. Through one man, sin entered into this world.
Show who was responsible. Now, according to the scriptures, it says that sin, women pretty much brought forth the beginning of sin into the world. We know that.
Not
because
really.
she's the one who took of the first fruit and disobeyed the Most High. But the responsibility lies on Adam because he's the head of the woman. He is the husband. So the black man today is the head of the black woman. Any issues going on in the black community, any problems, drugs, teenage pregnancy, black on black crime, whatever it is, the black man is responsible. And if he is turning a blind eye to these issues, who is going to fix them? The white man?
And the thing that black men have got to understand, ebony women, we have no problem following your lead. But we have to first ask ourselves, who are you following? And like Ringo is making it very clear, most of these black men out here are following Satan the devil. So no, you're not going to have too many women, ebony women, because we're very spiritual people, who's willing to follow you. You want me to follow you when you're smoking dope first thing in the morning. You got to have some freaking blunt that's dope, because you got to be a dope to be smoking that mess and honestly believe, well, it's not so harmful. You're inhaling smoke in your body, honey. You're not a chimney. That's common sense, okay? That goes without saying. But you're either on smoking crack, crystal meth, sniffing or shooting up heroin, popping opiates. Why would we be, you don't work, you don't want to work, you're a lousy provider, can't keep your behind up out of jail. You got how many felonies? Now with these felonies, how you expect to be a decent provider? I don't want to hear that garbage about where I don't mind cooking. Of course they don't mind cooking because they want to eat. You want to come home and clean up and you want to do woman's work. No. You think back in caveman days, the man, he went out there. He was the hunter. He brought back the food, aka he brought back the money, the provisions. The woman was home to handle that and comfort her man when he came from the freaking whatever the hell he was out there doing to make these provisions. You have the dudes these days, they want to be the woman. And every time I hear a man sit around and talk so badly about women, guess what, ladies? That's a dude on the down low. If you hire an investigator, you're going to find out that he's sleeping and whipping out his penis with men. I don't care whether he's a top or a bottom. You're sitting up here whipping out your penis with other men. So of course you don't want to treat women correctly.
The white man is not going to fix anything in the black community. The Asian man is not going to fix anything in the black community. You see the gentrification that's going on. You see what's happening within the community. They're moving all these different people in, building all these new skyscrapers and buildings, all these new businesses coming in to do what? Move the Negroes out. That's what they're doing. So what happens is we got a lot of black men today with no balls. None. All they do is complain. Black women this, black women that, black women this, black women that. Just like Adam in the Bible. Most High came in the garden after they realized they were naked and said, Adam, where art thou? Adam said, I hid myself because I knew I was naked. Why you hid yourself? Who told you naked? Oh, the serpent. You know that woman, you know that woman you gave me? Yep. Yeah, she beguiled me.
Blame
Do
the
you know
woman.
how weak it is as a black man to stand before the Most High and tell him that a woman beguiled you when she's the weaker vessel, when she's emotional? Women are ruled by their emotions. How can an emotional creature manipulate a wise, logical man? How? I'll tell you how. The weakness of the man is vagina. And in today's day, that's the destruction of the black man. Vagina. The black man will sell his soul for some vagina. And this is, she's the weaker vessel.
Well, I'm sorry, I had to backtrack. It's not just vagina these days when it comes to black men, it's sex. Sex in itself is the weakness for the black man. Everything, he has turned his penis into his God. And the Bible says God is a very jealous God. Do not put any other God before my face. Their God is their penis. They will sell their soul to the devil just to bust a nut. That's the most important thing when it comes to these black dudes. Those are not men. Those are dudes. Yeah. They'll sell their soul to the devil just to bust a nut. How sad is that? And you notice how in the Garden of Eden, the first thing Adam did was he blamed the woman you gave me. So now he's sitting up here also trying to blame God. Well, you gave me this woman. And then he wants to blame the woman. No, take accountability, Adam. Because of your foolishness, that's why we have to grow old and die. Thanks, Adam. Good job, dude. She was deceived. Like I said, he knew exactly what he was doing. And he heard it straight from God's mouth to his ears. You see, Eve, she heard it secondhand. She didn't hear it straight from God's mouth telling her this and telling her that. Adam knew exactly what he was doing. He made a decision. He made a choice. And his decision and his choice was to appease his penis. What else is new?
So, when she's emotional, women are ruled by their emotions. How can an emotional creature manipulate a wise, logical man? How? I'll tell you how. The weakness of the man is vagina.
Hello.
And in today's day, that's the destruction of the black man. Vagina. The black man will sell his soul for some vagina. And this is why the black man is so weak. Because vagina controls him. The vagina of a woman will make a man turn against the Most High. All wars are started because of vagina. All fights in a nightclub is started because of vagina. All fights on the job, vagina. Vagina controls men. And because of this, men today have become wicked because they're in search of vagina, running through women as they go. No man is being responsible. All we got are men smashing and dashing the women, then complaining that the women are hoes. That doesn't make any logical sense. How could you call a woman a whore when you are a whoremonger? Oh yeah. How can you go around pumping and dumping the black woman and at the same time call her the succubus? How can you use the very woman you degrade, the very woman you hate? You use them for sexual pleasure, but then you turn back around and say, she's the whore? Do you see the nature of the Negro? Do you see how the black man have no respect for himself or his women? Do you see how the black man failed his people? And you wonder why the black woman works today. You wonder why they collect a welfare check. And I'm not saying all black women collect a welfare check, because they don't. Most black women have jobs and careers because you Negro men don't want to do a damn thing to provide. You see, when a man is providing and he's making a certain amount of income and he's able to take care of a family, the woman have no need to go to work. She can now be at home and raise her kids. But because you Negroes are so flip-floppy and you can't hold down a job and you're not pretty much responsible for anything, you don't even know how to take care of your damn self. You can't even trust your own self. This is why the woman got to go out there and work.
I understand where he's going with that. At the same time, in the year 2019, I think every woman should work. Because when you look in the Bible at Proverbs chapter 31, when it's talking about the perfect wife, she worked outside of the home. She would make things and then sell it in the marketplace. She would, she was working outside the home. And it shows how the Proverbs 31 woman, perfect wife, this is an example for all women to try to follow. No one's perfect, of course not. At the same time, she's a hardworking woman, because when you look at how she sews, she milks a cow, she does this, she makes goods and take it to the marketplace, she makes sure her family is well taken care of. She makes sure that when the weather is bad, her family is looked out. She was a hardworking woman. At the same time, she wasn't just staying at home watching kids. She took her money. Now check this out. For when a woman works, her money is supposed to be saved. The man is supposed to pay the rent. He's supposed to pay the necessities. Rent is a necessity. Food, clothes, utilities. Those are necessities. Cable, Wi-Fi, getting my hair done, my nails done, and at the sauna, having a personal trainer. That's not a necessity. But for the necessities, a man is supposed to do that. The woman's money is supposed to be saved. How do you think that Proverbs 31 wife managed to buy property? She managed to buy land. She managed to buy fields. She did that. You can't just go out there and buy land. You got to save up the money. And no one's job is promised to them. What happens if your husband is laid off or you're laid off? You have to have something to fall back on. That's what the woman's money is supposed to be for. Also, you have to take care of your mental health. Let's go on vacation. Let's do a couple of things. My money is for our vacation coming up, sweetheart. My money also is here in case of an emergency. I can't imagine any woman 2019 not working, because that gives money is power. And someone could hold that over your head. You don't have no money. You don't have no income. That's a person who can control you, dominate you, and that's power over you. Every woman in the world today, and this is not being a feminist, this is called common sense. Every woman should have a job and make sure she saves her money. Because you got to keep in mind also, men are very fickle. When your looks and your body start to change, their feelings towards you start to change. So he may take his money or your money and whatever you put it together, and he's sitting up here paying this tricks cable. He's paying her cell phone. He's taking care of her. No, women have got to have a safety net because women, we're not like men, dudes. We're not that silly when it comes to because of the way your looks changed or because you got fat or you lost your hair or because no, women are not just we're not designed that way. We're not. So a woman has got to use a sound mind like the book of Proverbs constantly tell us, be wise, my child. Be wise, my child. And women have got to have a safety net. So when he changes up and go through his midlife crisis where he wants someone half his age, you have got to have something that you can fall back on. That's just good old common sense, sweetheart.
This is why women accepted feminism. Because the black man failed. And I know a lot of you men, that bothers you. Because you're weak. Because see, if it don't apply, let it fly. But the truth is, the reason why you are upset is because you are a failure. It is because you are a miserable male who have no family, who have no wives, nothing. And your mission in life is to smut the women out while not being responsible at all. And this is why men are fleeing the country. Not because black women are terrible, because it's not the case. You got your good, you got your bad, you got your ugly. To tell you the truth, every woman got their issues. Just look at Bill Cosby. Look at the women who came against Bill Cosby. Were they black women? These women came after Bill Cosby. After so many years, they were still bitter in their heart. But nobody's talking about those women. We want to talk about the black woman, as if though the black woman is the most terrible woman on earth. Not the case. All women have their issues. But the problem that we have today is that black men don't want to be responsible. That's the problem. Isn't it interesting that I could be speaking on a topic like this and men will be in their feelings? You know why? Because it applies to them. You see, a man that's doing evil, a man that don't care about his women, a man who is using his women for sex only, those are the men that get offended. Those are the men that cry. Those are the men that complain. Those are the men that thumb down videos. Those are the kind of men that are failures. And a lot of times these men are bitter because they have an issue with their own mother. Trust and believe, a lot of black men did not have a good upbringing. Most black men really never had much growing up. Broken homes, broken families.
And you heard what he said. A lot of these black men didn't have a good upbringing because they didn't have their dad and they was raised by their mom. The mother's doing a job, like I said previous in the previous video. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4 say, you fathers, get your Bible if you don't believe me. You fathers go on raising these children and bringing these children up. So if your mom did a poor job, she had no business doing that job anyway. But you have a lot of these black men, they have issues with black women. Like he's going to make it clear, Ringo is going to make it very clear because you had a girl that you wanted and you couldn't get her. You got issues with your mom because you felt that she was a narcissist or she was this, whatever. What, on my channel, when I hear people talking negatively about their mother, I can't be bothered. I can't. Because they are the narcissists. The number one thing about a narcissist is they have no empathy. So if you can't empathize with your mom and whatever issues that you had, yeah, you're the narcissist, not her. It's not her job to raise children. She carries out the father's orders. Dad says he wants this done, he wants that done. By all means, when dad get home, that better be done. That's her job as his helper. But you think these men, especially black men, do you think they can comprehend that? Of course not. They're too doped up and drugged up. Brains are fried up. They don't understand none of that. And for the females who don't understand that either, most of them, they got mental issues. They're probably bipolar, schizophrenic, opiates, whatever. They're on some kind of drug or some kind of mental illness.
Some black men, they grew bitter because they blame their mother for all the problems. They blame their mother for not having the father there,
Yep.
not realizing the full story. In some scenarios, women do leave men once they have a baby. In some instances, the men leave. It takes two to tango. But why is it that the black man is never responsible for anything? He just blames black women for every damn thing there is. I hear black men say this all the time. Women make the choice to have the baby, not the man. No, brother. You planted your seed inside that woman. Could you answer why you do that? Why would you, as a black man who don't want babies, why would you plant your nut inside of a woman? Answer the question. If you don't want a baby as a...
That's an excellent question. Well, she's the one who decides whether we keep the baby or not. You're the one who decided to plant your nut up in this woman. You should never be having sex with a woman because there's no contraceptive that's 100% guaranteed. It might be 99.9, but there's still that percentage that it may not work. So you should never be laying up with a woman who, in case she gets pregnant, you don't want your daughter to be anything like her. Do you want your child to grow up to be like the woman that you got you whipping your penis out with? Do you want your child to be like her? So if you don't want your daughter to be like that, then you shouldn't be whipping out your penis with her. Just like I tell women, you shouldn't be sleeping with any dude who you don't want your son to grow up like. Do you want your son to grow up like this clown? So you shouldn't be sitting up here having babies with clowns like this. Anyway, we're going to go on to part 3 because I don't want this to run out. But anyway, yeah, you always have a choice. Choose wisely. As I always say, again, I wanted to say thank you. I appreciate the gifts or donations of $7 or more for me answering your questions that you regularly email me and you call me. Your best bet is to email me because I will definitely get back to you way sooner than phone calls. Because normally when I'm speaking to one of my tubies, I don't put no limit on how long they need to talk. If they need to talk an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, we're on that phone for 3 hours. So it's better to just email me back and forth. It's Sheila True Love 7 at AOL.com, and you will get quicker responses from me. My Cash App is $Sheila True Love. Once I see that has been paid, I will get to answer your question ASAP as soon as possible when it comes to the emails. I love you incredibly. Thank you. Like I said, this is how I supplement my income so that I don't have to work 2 jobs, which leave me available and it gives me the time so that I can provide the information and the encouragement that so many of my tubies need. They need somebody that they could, vent to. So bend my ears in, bend my eyes in as I read these emails. Some of them are kind of long, but that's okay. I wish there was a way I could show you, let you see the way I answer emails. My tubies are more than satisfied. And it holds them over for at least a good 5 days. And then 5 days after that, you change up and then you need to be built up again. Send me another email, baby. And the beauty of the email is you could keep it. You could read it over and over again when you need that encouragement. I love you, and I'll see you on the other side for part 3.